Hi everyone, welcome back, and I'm now going to show you a quick run through of box C and D of my creation boxes. Very quickly, the boxes will be up for sale in my Etsy shop this coming Saturday, which is Saturday the 10th of October at 12 noon Greenwich Mean Time, and I tried to make that a fair time for everybody, so apologies if that doesn't suit you. I try to go with the best time that would suit and make it fair to everybody. The boxes are £165 each plus shipping on top, and I am happy to ship worldwide. The other thing I ought to mention just very quickly is that the number of items in each box is exactly the same number, although the contents of the box might vary in terms of the tags, the colour or the scrappy snippet. They're not going to be the same in each and every box, but all the little packages inside the boxes will be exactly the same, and I do a complete run through of what's inside each one of the packages in the first video. Now I'll put the link down below in case you've missed that and come straight in at the second video or this video. So if you have a look at the first video, that will give you a rundown of what's inside each and every one of the packages. Okay, so going into box C. This is box C, and as you can see, there is another one of these. Now, again, contents exactly the same except for the tag at the back. And this one, again, the styles are very similar, but they're not identical, so that's why I'm showing you. So Hug Snug seam binding at the top, blue safety pin with some tiny glass seed beads, a little tiny tag, and again the vintage document down the side, and plain on the back apart from book text and some vintage French script. And that's the tag. This one is exactly the same. You'll remember from the previous video. So let me bundle that up. So the tags in this box, again, same theme but slightly different. So this one you've got sari silk at the top. Now this is one piece of sari silk, but it is two colours, because I wanted to pick up the two colours in the flower here. There's a tiny little dangle at the top there, again faceted green bean I can't get my words out, faceted green beads. This is some Dutch vintage book paper or book page, quite fragile, and you'll notice there is a little nick there at the side, so it is very fragile, this paper, and that just goes in that little side tuck just there. This is one of the encaustic tea bags, and this lady on her tea bag does pull out of this acetate pocket here, and on the back it's just plain. Another one of those tags, very similar, again green sari silk, lovely and soft. This another one of the encaustic ladies on tea bags, and this time I've left on my tea bag dangle, and this is just the detail at the bottom. Some sari silk, eyelash trim, little bit of trimmings from some lace, and some double layers of just plain white lace at the bottom, and on the back a little bit of collaging. There we go. I'm sorry about the background noise if you're picking that up. My neighbour has just decided to blow his leaves into a pile with a leaf blower, so sorry about that. So this is another one of those lovely tags. I love doing these tags, really do, and I'm pleased at how feminine they came out. So this is the collaging I've done on the back, various wallpapers and piano roll paper, more wallpaper, and then a fussy cut image, a TF label, and some a bit of a document, English document, and then it's backed onto a library cabinet card, and it goes into this side pocket here. Everything has been stitched, no inking around the edges of this particular tag. Book page image that I've stitched round, and then book text again stitched round, and then hug snug seam binding crinkled at the top through an eyelet, and this is the tag that's inside the top pocket, as you can see, stitched, and a fussy cut image, and I've just used a single piece of lace all the way down and as my tag topper, and it's just plain on the back with some botanical book page. So that goes in the top pocket like so, and if I flip it over, that is the back, which is plain. You know what's inside that packet, so I'm not going to go through that again with you. Let me just pop these back inside. This is the scrappy snippet or cluster that is in this box, and anybody that saw my recent video will have seen this one. I don't think I'd done the slow stitching at the side here. That's been finished off, and along the top I think you can just catch the tiny little seed beads, blue seed beads that I've woven into the lace at the top, and the back is now backed with some tea stained paper. Okay, so you know what's in all of these little parcels here, exactly the same as in the previous one. This one has your guardian angel in, and then another one of these ephemera folders. Now this is not a Christmas one, this is just one of the label ephemera folders, and just a quick glance inside so that you can see all the labels, a little bit of collaging there. As you can see, stuffed full of as many labels as I could get in there, and a little tiny glassine bag, and there's 6 of these tiny little images, and you can see that I've used them for my collaging here and here, and on the back, no, just inside. So I've used 2 of the images inside, so again a whole host of labels there, and again on the back, and that goes in this sleeve. Like so. You just have to be a little bit careful when you slide them in here, because it's easy to catch the labels as you go. So that's that one. You know what is in here and here. Let's turn that over, and here, and then there's that one as well. This is the fabric postcard. So there's a vintage, part of a vintage letter tucked into this back pocket at the back, and then this one, is this the one that opens? Yeah, this one has like a little secret compartment in there that you could pop something in. Let me just do that. You have to be very fragile, careful with these vintage ephemera pieces that I've included, because they are very fragile, and because I've stitched all around the top of that and stitched this one, you're not necessarily going to know that there is a secret compartment there, but as I've just shown you, there is. So that goes back in the back pocket like so, and then this is the front with some lace and some little bit of washi at the bottom and some French script. So that's the postcard, fabric postcard in that one. This one here, that is essentially the same as the previous 2, except just a different image for the Observer book page, and this one is goldenrod, and just plain tea stained paper on the back. I've not put any dangles on these because you've got enough dangles in the box, but I've just tied a little bit of Averil twine round that eyelet, just to pick up the Averil twine that I've used to decorate the pocket. You know what's inside of here. These are the altered playing cards. This is a tracing paper pocket. This was a digital print of the Nagasaki papers, and I covered over the top with some vellum and stitched it to make a pocket, and then put a layer of lace on the front, and there's lace trim inside. And then inside here there are some of my laminated tags, and I will try and remember to put the link down below for the video on these. So gorgeous lace at the top, and trapped in here is a piece of lace, vintage lace, and Avril twine, and it's stitched round to make that lovely tag. Now you can use it as it is, or you can embellish it further. Here's another one that I've done in pink, and this time I've just put a lace loop of lace round the top and decorated that with some twines, a couple of little flowers, and a rose gold paper clip. Here's a long bookmark style laminated tag with tiny little flowers and some lace. There's another one, long but still fairly small, this one. Try to keep them small and delicate. This one I've put a layer of some chiffon sari silk, and then these three little lace flowers that I fussy cut out of a larger piece of lace, and then there's some tiny half pearls, and then a little bit of crocheted lace at the top, and then this is what it looks like on the back. There's a tiny weeny one. I've kind of gone down in sizes, haven't I? I was desperate to use up every piece of my scraps that I made when I laminated these tags. So there you go. You can see how tiny this one is. Just some little seed beads that I've embroidered through this little piece of sari chiffon and some lace there. And then here, this is my equivalent of a journaling card. So you've got some pieces, snippets of chiffon, pink lace and white lace. There's chiffon along the top there. You could use that as a tuck. It's double thickness, but I don't think it would actually hold anything. It might do, but no, I wouldn't. You might want to paper clip that if you wanted to use that piece across the top as a tuck. But more of that vintage lace trapped inside, and that's the back. So just some of those little laminated pieces inside this pouch. And then this is the Accordion Fold book. You know that there's spare pages for decoration in there. And then just going inside just very, very quickly to show you the slight differences. Obviously, none of the collages on any of these is identical. You just can't do it. Well, I couldn't do it. And I didn't really want them to be absolutely identical. So inside, another feather tucked in there. Again, you have the pocket here, and down the side here, that's a pocket. Going over the page, you have a little flip there, a pocket underneath here. I haven't got anything to tuck under. Yes, I have. Again, side pocket there, and another pocket there. And then going through very quickly, all very much the same as the previous ones in terms of the papers that I've included in, all handmade papers or temple, Japanese temple paper. There is some computer generated printed vellum, and this is from a antique book, actually, a page from an antique book. Dating back to the 1800s, that one. And again, the Flip that over, the temple paper opens out at the back. Oopsie-daisy. So all very much the same. That piece of vellum is, I don't know if you can pick that up, it's a printed piece of vellum. It's just quite delicate, that one. And then that's the back. Over the page here, it's a wax seal, but this time it's a gold one. And at the top here, there is a hidden pocket just down inside here. And I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't see. But it just behind there is another, on all of them except one, there is a secret pocket, quite a narrow one that's about an inch and a half that goes down behind there. So look out for that pocket if you buy one of these boxes. Don't miss that one. And then there is the big one at the back, and of course this one doesn't have one on the front. And this is what it looks like. If I just pull the ribbon to one side, this is what the collaging looks like on the back of this one. If I open it all out for you to see. And then that's the back page. Love that paper there. I am getting really addicted to handmade papers since I've been playing with them this last year. I really do enjoy playing with them, especially collaging. They're really, really nice to play with. Okay, so that is this box, and I will put it all together in one moment. Let me just put the lids back on, and then I will move on to the last box. So this was box C, and this is the final box, box D. So let me turn it round. Never get these the right way round. So again, just very, very quickly, there's your tag, and very, very similar. That's this one, and just book page on the back. Turn the lid over. Here's the tag for this box. Sorry, big size there. This is 2 pieces of fabric. This is some ivory coloured sari silk, and I've combined it with some of the crinkled Hug Snug seam binding on this one to pick up the water crowfoot flowers, the green and the white. So that was part of a book for cigarette cards, and as you can see, the description is down below. And then that's the collaging on the back of this one. Love this tag. I really struggled to let this one go. I shouldn't admit that maybe, but I just love this little this image of this little boy. So we have a single piece of seam binding, sari silk at the top, rough torn, couple of little glass beads for a dangle at the top. There is a side tuck with a tiny piece of real vintage ephemera. This is a note out of a French diary that I purchased. So that just goes in the back pocket. And then this is an acetate window. And then there is a little mini tag with this gorgeous image of this little lad. I just fell in love with him when I saw it. And I've used some of my vintage French linen thread to tie a little tiny bow at the top there. And then that goes into that window there. And then just plain on the back. Another one of these tags. This time I've used seam binding for my library cabinet card, a little piece of fussy cutting there, and then that's the collaging on the reverse. So wallpapers and stickers, some mulberry paper, this is a piece of sari chiffon that I've stitched on, and a little bit of broderie anglais up there. So that goes in the side pocket there. Hug Snugs crinkled seam binding at the top, and then this is the tag that's inside this one. So we have a book page, some vellum and some book text, and it is a side pocket here, but there's nothing in this one, but you could put something in there if you wanted to. And then that's the back. I tried to marry up the red on here with the red in the strawberries and at the top. So I tried to, even though they're different images, I did try and keep them coherent and consistent by trying to match up the colours. So that's your tags in that box. Quickly pop those back in. This is your scrappy snippet, and you can see the slow stitching, and that's the back, now covered with the tea stained paper. And then here's all your packages. Love this Avril twine. Again, I've got hooked on that recently. I needed to, I didn't need to, I wanted to buy some for the creativity boxes and for these creation boxes to decorate the packaging. But I also knew I would have loads left over so that I could use them to play with in my journals, because I just think it's lovely. It's lovely stuff to work with and makes beautiful decorations. So this is another one of the label folios in this one, and let me just open it. The labels are all the same in both of them. If you've got one that has the Christmas one in, or if you buy that one or choose to have that one, that is full of Tim Holtz Ranger Christmas ephemera. But if you get one of these, then they're full of labels, as you can see. So that goes back in now. Let's pop those back. And lifting this next layer off, you know what's, let's turn it round, because true to form it's the wrong way round yet again. You know what's inside this and this and this and this, so they're all the same. The fabric postcard is this one. And if I flip it over, there's that little vintage charm that I was gifted recently. It's absolutely beautiful. I love that. This observer one is ground ivy this time, so slightly different. And I think I've shown you they're all back with tea stained paper, and they go in these little envelope pouches. And you know what's inside this one. So I've got some fluff on that one. That's no good. So very quickly, this is your accordion book. And going inside, we have slightly different feather, obviously. This is what it looks like inside. I'm not going to point out all the pockets. A red seal inside this one. Flips open like that. The papers are all exactly the same inside this one as in the previous ones. And that's the collaging there. Obviously that's your pocket. And I think you can probably just make out the thumb notch just here. Maybe that's not showing up too well on the camera. I'm looking at a mirror image on my computer to one side, and that's not showing it up. But trust me, there is a little thumb notch at the top there, which as you can see from the stitching there and there, you can see how narrow that little pocket is, but it's on the previous one it's very well disguised. This one I've made it a little bit more obvious, so I obviously was being kinder to whoever is going to get this this box. And again, just very quickly, that is the back, the collaging on the back of this one. There we go. Let me just pop that on there quickly and pop that to one side. And then in this one, I've done, this is one of the gorgeous chapter 1 paper projects that I had a play with a while ago. And this is from one of the chapter 1 digi-kits, and I printed it onto canvas and made this little pouch, and I have to say I absolutely love this. I love the feel of this canvas. It's really nice and it's going to be durable. I used some of my favourite lace along the top here, and you have this length of lovely lemon sari chiffon. And then inside, again, it's if you saw the previous video where I showed these in more detail, and again I'll put the link down below, it is a little ephemera folder, but using the style that I saw Nick the Booksmith do, and I just think this is a lovely robust way of making an ephemera folder. So in the back pocket there is a journaling card with a little dangle and a little silver initial on it. Don't know if you can pick that up. Yeah, there you go. And then flipping it over, a little bit of collaging on the back. There is a seed packet, nothing in it, but it just has a little closure, little lip, using one of the circles that are on the digi-kit. When you print out the pages, they have these little circles, and they are ideal for using for this sort of thing, or for, as I showed you in this one, for making a tiny little dangle. So loads of uses. You could use them to make buttons even. So there is 2 of these little seed packets. This one I've just done a couple of eyelets for my closure. And again, nothing in these. It's just to show you what you can do really for different styles of closures. So that's just got some of my vintage French linen thread to wrap round. So in that second pocket there are 2 seed packets or salary envelopes, and then I made this little tiny little journal because I had a scrap of the canvas left over. And if I can, so more of the yellow seam binding. This again is the canvas, as I said, 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and a tiny little seed packet there, which I've just used some ribbon to tie around, a little bit of lemon lace along the bottom as my pocket, some embossed paper, just a little tiny tag, some dictionary page, nothing very detailed in this one. A little glassine envelope with a tiny little journaling card on it. I'll pop that back in a moment. More tea stain paper. Oh, some more of that antique paper. I'd forgotten I'd used that in there actually. So a tiny little bit, that must have been the bit that I cut off the bottom. So we've got a tuck spot there where I've used one of the tags. More dictionary paper. This is French, English French. I think there's French, English, Italian in here. There's a little tiny tag as a, not a tag, label. I always get my words mixed up on these videos. A little label for a tuck spot there. A nice piece there as a journaling spot. Again, another little tuck spot in there. And then a couple of lovely faceted pale green beads, which I've tied to the threads. More of that document there, but this time I've just tucked it behind half a tag. Now there's another piece that pulls out like that, again using part of a tag. Another little journaling card in that pocket. And over the page here, a couple of little labels from the DigiKit, and I've just put a little remnant rub of a bee on there. Another tag in a glassine pocket there. So just very, very simple, but I just wanted to make use of the kit and the bits and bobs that I had left over. And then in the back pocket, again, some more little labels from the DigiKit. It was such a lovely one to work with. I had an absolute field day. I think I made 4 or 5 different projects that some of them have gone into these creation boxes, and some of them haven't. I've kept for myself, but actually I'm surprised to put this one in because I love this one. One of my favourite colours is lemon or yellow, and I really loved doing this and printing it on canvas. And as you can see, sorry, I mustn't keep you, I've lined the back of this with cardstock. I didn't print on the back of the canvas for this one, but I did when I made the wallet here. So everybody, thank you so much for letting me share these with you. I hope I haven't kept you too long, but I do hope you've enjoyed seeing a flip through of what I've done and what I've tried to include in all of these boxes. Exactly the same as with the creativity boxes. I've tried to make them as good value as I can for you. So I hope you enjoy what I've done, and as I say, they will be available in my Etsy shop 12 noon on Saturday, this coming Saturday. So thank you so much everybody, and bye bye from me. Take care.